Okay, I am now, are you ready, Steve?
Yes, we're on.
Okay. All right. I want to welcome people to the January 26th meeting of the Barnstable County Commissioners. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now please join us in a moment of silence for the many things that are going on. Today is Anti-Bullying Day, and one of the things that I think we should think about is how important it is to curb our speech to make sure that we are not hurting somebody by what we say. So thoughtfulness is very important, and of course to remember those who have both given their life and have given their service to our country and our armed forces. Thank you very much. With that, we have the summary of items. There's one very important thing that we have to sign off on today, which is the ordinance 11-01 for the Craigville Beach DCPC that has now come to us. I believe that that is a very important thing that has been going. It at least has a life of about 4 years now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully this in this iteration it'll get finished. Does anybody have any other questions on the summary of action? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I second. I will put forward the motion to approve the minutes, the summary.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Okay, so with that, we now have public comment. Looking at the vast array of audience that we have, I think I would withhold our comment to our usual place on the agenda.
Which would be
and are any members of the public willing to or wishing to speak? Hearing none, we'll now move on to the regular part of our agenda, which would be to discuss some of the budget items. And I see that Kevin Howard, the recently installed Executive Director of the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod, the Barnstable County recognized art agency, is here to talk about, you have your begging bowl with you, right?
I do, okay. and then some.
Welcome.
Thank you. I have a presentation that I would like to follow through with all of you.
Thank you.
We haven't been idle.
I did not expect that you would have much to do.
Absolutely.
Are you enjoying your new role?
I am very excited about it. I think this is, for me, a perfect segue after the great work with the Conservatory and the Symphony.
Right.
And to have watched that come from where it was and come to fruition now, and now to be looking at the Arts Foundation with that same eye of what great things can we do.
Great.
So I'm very, very excited about it. And I just want to mention that one of the documents that I read with great interest the first day on the job was Levering Cultural Assets. And I'm going to reference that a little bit in my remarks because I think that is exactly the mission and the blueprint that to be followed to really take advantage of the economic development opportunities that exist in the arts here on the Cape. So I just want to sort of briefly run through some of the things that we do: advocacy, our grants, we do education, and we do service to the arts community. We have a lot of arts education related programs. We do collaborative marketing. We do organizational support. We do economic development. We do arts advocacy. We do direct employment and organizational capacity. And I'm going to talk about how we do that. One of our programs is the annual Winter Art Exhibit, which is at the Cotuit Center. You've got a program in front of you so big. It's a very successful program, and I'll allude to it in a few minutes. We do the Creative Collaborative Conference, which I think you've all been at. The Pops by the Sea t-shirt contest, and I've got some interesting data on that. I brought a t-shirt with me just to show you what this year's was. the spring and fall grant support program, student performances, our website, and our e-newsletter, which are the definitive clearinghouse for all things arts on the Cape. So we are in the midst of So Big at the Cotuit Center. It is a artist juried show. It was peer curated. We have 47 artists represented. We have hosted so far over 1,500 students who come from all over the Cape, and they go through with a docent who walks them through the exhibit. We have an artist that has come, different artists at every one of these, to come and talk about their inspiration for art. They have an art project that they do with an artist, and then they have a little scavenger hunt, which is really fun for them. We had 200, actually over 200 attendees at the opening reception. We got a lot of Cape-wide media coverage, which, by the way, just want to point out that in the program here, the county is mentioned and gets a big plug here. You got some pictures of the opening event and our student performances, which we'll talk about a little bit further. And we had a very big crowd. We have a copy of a letter, beautiful thank you note from the Centerville Elementary third graders, which I think kind of speaks to what we are doing in the outreach. I mean, one of the things that I'm sure you understand is important is to get our children vested in the arts early, and with the kind of cutbacks that the school systems have been running into, we play an even more important role. So you can see the kids doing their art projects, the Cape Week and Patriot covers, lots of stories, all the way down to Provincetown. Then another one of our events is the Creative Collaborative Conference, which I hope you'll all put on your calendars for March 24th. This is really an opportunity to do education on how to successfully run a business as an artist. So we do a lot of seminars with great panels of guest speakers, and I think some of you have even been on some of our panels. We do things on reaching the media, again, how to make a living as an artist. We're going to do something on social media, because that is a hot topic these days.
Can I ask you a question about that? You used to have a program called Making Art, Making a Living.
Yeah, that sort of got folded into this. We're talking about whether there's an opportunity to bring that back, because we think that there's a real opportunity. The other thing is that it's an opportunity for the artist community, all of you, our Cape delegation, and the business community to come together. And we've actually, you can see some pictures, but we've given some good awards at the collaborative. It's become sort of an arts Oscars, if you will. Last year we honored the Falmouth Artists Guild for their art center that they built in Falmouth. We gave a Community Leadership Award to Rob O'Leary. We gave the Arts Educator of the Year Award to Daniel Springer, and we gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to Royston Nash, the former conductor of the symphony. So that has developed into a very, very successful event. And again, one of the things that we do at all of these events is that we give an opportunity for students who are emerging performers to be able to perform, which is huge. The Comcast Art Scholarship T-shirt design competition. We have a few programs that have very long names. Amazing thing about this is that last year we had 575 submissions, which is amazing, and I think it just shows the interest that our kids have in the arts, and the fact that it's a tremendously important program to them. So now we had 9 winners, and they got cash awards as well as the school art department got an award. Another thing that we do is the Spring and Fall Grants Committee programs, and we have given over $50,000 this past year, and we have honored 42 different local artists. And this is an opportunity to encourage collaboration and educational initiatives. So we put in the grants committees just to show you that we've got a very diverse group of community leaders and artists that come together, and they really do a good job. I did it this past fall, and it was really quite an experience. There are a lot of very talented artists in this on the Cape. We do a lot of collaborative marketing. We have the Passport to the Arts, which one of the things that's great about the Passport to the Arts is that you get a 50% discount on 42 different venues. Again, the county gets credited on all of these programs. We also do Everything Arts, which is the supplement to issue of the Cape Cod Life. Again, it gives an opportunity for all our participants to get a listing in the back of this, and it gives an opportunity to promote them, and I think Cape Cod Life's got a great circulation in terms of the kind of people that we want to reach out to. Our website, which again has become the arts website for Cape Cod, we had over 33,000 unique hits last year. We have 213,000 page views. We get 144 page views a day. So, and there's an opportunity for artist members to be able to post their own sort of mini website on our page. So we've got a lot going on with that website that is very innovative. And I think it's very critical to the arts community on the entire Cape, because it really is this clearinghouse. I like to think, coming, as you know, I have a hospitality background, so I like to say we're also the arts concierge for the Cape. And we do a lot of direct mail programs as well. We have a lot of partnerships. I think that one of the things that we've done masterfully, frankly, is to be able to partner with many different organizations, whether they're venues, to help expose them. We bring a lot of people to our events, and I think we've been able to do a great job with bringing higher visibility to artists and to these venues and galleries and museums. We've been involved in Harbor the Arts in the town of Barnstable. We have done the Citizens Bank Summer Concert Series, which we increased to 8 towns this year. We did, I believe, over 10,000 audience members. We employed 150 Barnstable County performing artists for 64 concerts, and we did Chatham, Dennis, Eastham, Falmouth, Harwich, Hyannis, Mashpee, and Sandwich during July and August of 2010. So that is a big accomplishment. We did a little partnership with the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. I'm sure you've seen the Arts and Artisans Trail Guide. Also the source book for architectural and design. I think these are wonderful collaborative projects, and I think they're exactly the kind of thing that we need to do to help stimulate more economic development and bring business to the craftsmen and the artisans that we have down here. We have also done collaborative, well, let's talk a little bit about POPs. I would say POPs is the most iconic arts event on the Cape. It's the only appearance of the Boston Pops Esplanade Orchestra on the Cape. We once again had over 15,000 attendees. We sold it out. We always have great programs, and you know, the nice thing about it is we've got a very active steering committee that helps to drive the event and make it the high quality event that it is, and it's helpful in raising funds that we put back into the community. One of the nice collaborations that happens in regards to POPs is the outreach we do with Health and Human Services, the family free ticket program. We gave out over 1,000 tickets for that program, and that was a collaboration with several several foundation organizations like the Patrick Butler Foundation. So I think there's a real opportunity there that we maximize to outreach the community. I think it's a great event. You know, the last page of that pop section has all these photos of all these people that of all shapes and stripes, from the volunteers to political leaders to celebrities. I mean, it has just been a tremendous event. I think it's a great event for the Cape. You know, we bring in bus tours, and it's really a good calling card for the Cape as a whole. From an arts advocacy standpoint, we got a grant this year from the National Endowment for the Arts. We get a grant from the Mass Cultural Council. And of course, we look at the county. We're very proud of the fact that we're the county's arts agency, and we're very proud to display the seal in all of our materials. We have a very diverse and strong board of directors and a strong staff. So we're able to get a lot done. We do a lot of strategic partnerships. Our membership program, which we're up over 550 members right now. We partner with Cape Air. They do a ticket program with new memberships. And I think we try to maximize all of our collaborative opportunities. So I have for you all our formal request for this year, which is also also highlights all of our programs. And I wanted to go back and talk about the leveraging cultural assets. I mean, one of the things, having had time in the private sector and been a business person, one of the hats that I'm bringing to this job is the idea of economic development. I mean, I really see that we can create jobs in the arts sector. I think that we can create careers for our young people to go to that are good careers, that they will be fulfilling careers for them. And I think that we can make the Cape an elite cultural destination, which I think is the key to bringing more tourism dollars in, and making all of our galleries and musical venues and theaters stronger, build their subscription base, build their ticket sales. You know, we've seen how that can happen with the Regional Symphony. I mean, they have started to sell out their concerts, and I think they do a lot of really smart things to make that happen, one of which is they do heavy outreach to the school systems, and the other is that they put on a very high quality program. But again, it's getting the word out. It's getting the word out off Cape, as well as marketing ourselves on Cape. I think that there's a real opportunity, following some of the things that are laid out in this document, that we can take and also market collaboratively. I'm very happy that I'm in the same building where the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce is, because I plan on working collaboratively with the Chamber as the marketing agency sort of for Cape Cod to be able to market our arts community in a different kind of way, in a more expansive way. So, you know, one of the things that I'm hoping to bring to the table is to begin some advisory groups that are not necessarily expanding the board, but more outreach to the theater community, the music community, the art community, the museum community, to get, so that when we're doing, you know, contests where we need an art jury, we've got it because we've got our advisory group. You know, and to try to talk to them about how we can do more to draw attention to their specific, you know, maybe we should be doing an Oscar thing for all the theaters, the people who, all the actors and actresses that participate in our theater productions down here. I'd like to see us expand our creative collaborative to do more of an arts expo, so that people can come and, you know, the exhibits would actually have what people are doing for the season, and they can talk about what they're doing for the season and have it be a something where the public really wants to come because it's an exciting, interesting kind of an event, sort of on the same scale that Philanthropy Day turns out. But do it over, you know, maybe even do it over a weekend like we did with the Health Expo with the Cape Cod Chamber a couple of years ago. So I've got lots of ideas, lots of energy, very excited, and am looking for additional support if you all can are able to do that. I realize that you know, the economic times are tough, and that everybody's looking for ways to trim budgets. My feeling about the arts and this approach to the arts and supporting this kind of an organization is that we will bring you money back. We will bring you revenue back to the county. We're an investment. We're about creating more jobs, about creating more activity in all of these venues, and so if you will help us, we will be very appreciative. So, questions?
Sheila?
First of all, I just think that the arts program is a great program, and I do know, in speaking of economic development and helping artists, you know, further their career. I mean, a lot of times they have a lot of talent and they just don't have a showcase or the opportunity to be showcased. And I know many on the Outer Cape have received grants, and they seem like, you know, what can you really do with $2,000 or $5,000? It really does help them put on a project to develop the art the way they want to and have that showcased. And it gives them some notoriety, gives them some SWAT in the community, and recognition. So I think it's a great thing, and I do think that it does leverage out in many different ways. I also just want to point out that the document that Kevin is referring to, Leveraging the Arts on Cape Cod, or Creative Economy, is a document put out by the Cape Cod Commission. It's sort of an addendum to their the regional policy plan, and it is an excellent document. And in talking about a creative economy, it even goes beyond. You know, a creative economy that term is usually looked at as the arts, but it really does encompass technologies and, you know, how we can even help expand that. And with art becoming more graphic, you know, designs and that sort of thing, I think any support we can give in those areas is a great thing. Now, how much support we can give, that's what we'll discuss.
Pat, did you have any questions?
Well, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm a member of the Board of Directors of the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod, so I am very familiar now, after being, 2 years a member, with the organization itself and its goals and objectives and what it wants to accomplish. And I think the strength of a board is often demonstrated when a board loses its leader for whatever reason. You know, and in this case, Maggie Van Sciver did resign from the board, and the board was faced with this situation of finding a new leader. And with my human resources background, I'm very familiar with how one goes about it. And I am so impressed with how the Arts Foundation pulled together, had an interim leader in Rob Sennett. The board came together and in a very managed way found their new leader, who is here with us today, Kevin Howard. And and that to me says a whole lot about an organization. That board did not flounder for a minute.
Nope.
It knew what it had to do, and it did it. And I think that's very impressive. So that's, grade A in a certain sense, or A plus, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of the comments that Kevin made in terms of the arts being so much a part of the Cape Cod community, because that's not only one of the reasons why people live here. Either they choose to live here because of the arts and what is available, but they come here as a tourist because maybe they have other reasons, like the beaches, which many people come for that reason. But they also come because there is a strong arts community here and events that they can participate in at various levels. So we designated the Arts Foundation as the designated arts group for Cape Cod, for the county. Mm-hmm. And so I think we do have a responsibility to ensure that it continues to thrive and that it meets its goals. So I think that we would want to consider this request from the Arts Foundation, which we will, and deliberate on it as we go through the budget, which right now we're just hearing requests, but we will get into the deliberative phase in the not too distant future. So I think knowing that and knowing the importance of the Arts Foundation here, I think that raises the bar considerably.
And also in the interest of full disclosure, I was on the search committee that,
Oh, that's right.
and
Gee, I'm the only one that's clean here.
part of that, none of us have clean hands.
And you get the
Sheila, it's up to you.
That's right.
So in any case, I discovered, during that process, exactly what you said as far as the organization. I was delighted to hear that Rob Sennett had decided to continue on the board, because I think he provided a wonderful asset during the interim, and also his continuation and support is a demonstration of his expressed interest in in things of art. I am also the vice chair of the Arts and Culture Committee of the National Association of County Officials, and I will take this opportunity to remind you, as I used to remind Maggie Van Schreiber, that I would give me some material to take with me to to at least the annual meeting. The legislative meeting, there is not really an opportunity to display that, and to show what I consider to be a very important demonstration of what goes on here. But they'll be meeting in July, and sometime around June, I'll give you a call and ask you to send some material out to where the meeting will be, because it's nice to be able to brag on something that that I personally am very proud of. I spend a fair amount of time in the schools, and the only impediment to getting more kids involved, from what I've gathered, is the arts teachers are under an amount of pressure to get the curriculum issues ahead, and somehow or other we got to think about how do we get to the kids directly to have them participate, because that's where I think where the major benefit is in all of these things. You have honored individual teachers. I think was it Gary Lopes over at Barnstable High School?
Carl Lopes
Carl
was
Lopes.
2 years ago,
2
and
years
then
ago.
Danielle Springer was last year.
Okay, and then it occurred to me when I took your survey that you had online, that one of the things that that perhaps we should recognize are all the art teachers and the things that they go through it on every budget thing that they go through. That's always the most very vulnerable part. But I will tell you that my observation has been that many children are inarticulate with regard to being able to express themselves either verbally or in writing, but they are articulate, if you will, when they are expressing themselves through different types of media, like either in the visual arts or in the or the performing arts, and it's so important to encourage that, because today's anti-bullying day, and we need an opportunity to give kids an outlet for that energy that they have that would be in productive ways, and I believe that the programs, that you run, or that the Arts Foundation run have been very important. One of the programs you ran several years ago, which I thought was really wonderful, was look at where they were, where they had you had the artists come in over at the Cotuit Arts Center, and they had pictures of them, of work that they had done when they were kids, and I thought that was a marvelous way of showing kids who might not think about their talent as being, let's say, as having an opportunity to see where some of these artists were and where they can be. And I know from in my family, my aunt is an artist and makes her living at it, and that she started because a teacher encouraged her after she'd seen her doodling, and arranged for Saturday programs for her, and then she went to art school, after that. And so there's an opportunity to discover talent. I think that one of the most important things that you do is provide that opportunity to discover talent, among our kids. And as Pat says, and as Sheila, I'm sure agrees, that this is something that's worthy of serious consideration. I think if you look at the Americans for the Arts, which is part of what the the county officials association looks at, they continue to come up with statistics to show the significant opportunity for artists as individual entrepreneurs to develop something that's very close to my heart, social justice, which is we providing an opportunity for our citizens to get to a livable income level, and this certainly is one opportunity. We do enjoy a population of very artistic people here, and we want to do everything we can to nurture that, develop the kids that we have, and then and see where that goes.
Can I just add on? When you're going around, have you talked to, a lot of the towns are having economic development committees or economic focused committees, and a lot of them are going forward, as you well know, from even are probably aware through EDC grants and that sort of thing, with websites. You might want to talk to the town's economic development committees and make sure there's a link on their websites that goes to you, but also talk about the importance of that aspect in their economic. I know in the Outer Cape, the arts is a huge component, and looking at maybe a year-round tourist draw is the arts. So they're always trying to beef that up and showcase it. So it might be, in talking to everybody else, those are good committees to make sure they know.
Since you are our recognized department, is that the Economic Development Council put money into the Wellfleet website.
Right?
So
I'm sure they'll be more than happy to
make sure that
was one of my.
That link is there.
That was the lead-in, yeah.
And
tell them we sent you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And don't be afraid. I'm remembering Maggie, who's never bashful about mentioning.
Yeah.
It is very important to me personally, and I believe to the other commissioners, that link between the arts and the county is maintained.
Absolutely.
Because, I think that's an important place for visibility. In all the other counties that that I see, they have recognized that that arts are very important, but they generally tend to stop at statues outside the county courthouse. And we have two very lovely statues here, but there's more to the arts than just just a statuary. We're sitting in a very historic building, another part of an example of architecture, and the arts, from the 19th century. We're in a place that that has been memorialized by by great writers like Thoreau and others about the natural beauty of the place. And of course, someday we might even see a viable film industry that actually that can be sustained down here.
Right.
And if so, who knows how many doors are there to open? But at the same time, we have a lot of great ideas. But as when you start to figure out where should you invest your time and energy, you have to take a look at what's that return going to be on your investment. Let's see, what did we get you in for now this year? Was it 25,000?
I think we did
No,
30,000 last
30.
year.
It's 35 this year.
And I put in a request for 50.
Right.
A couple of things to speak to your earlier point about the outreach to the schools. we did fund, through the grants program, several mentoring and outreach programs. You know, Cape Cod Museum of Art has a mentoring program with kids and artists. The Cape Cod Opera actually goes into schools and does a presentation. So and Academy of Performing Arts, we've funded their summer theater intern program. So we think that outreach in the educational community and getting to the kids and creating programs for the kids, very, very important. Sheila, to speak to your point, I really am planning on, because this is also a blueprint for municipal investment.
Right.
So absolutely planning on talking to the town ED people, because to me, this is a real blueprint to follow.
Yeah, and you can encourage them to read that, because I mean, I'm sure it's been sent out to people.
Right.
A lot of people look at it. And,
Right.
But it's easy to read, it's quick to read, and
Right.
it has tremendous amounts of information in
And
it.
you know, one of the things that they talk about is that it will create more of a creative class, which, you know, are entrepreneurs. In other words, if you have a thriving, vibrant arts community, then it draws the kind of people who are the entrepreneurs that actually produce 50% of the income in this country.
Have you read Richard Florida's piece on this?
Yes.
Okay, so you know, and I'm a great proponent, you know, of what he has to say about we select a place to live based upon not based upon the availability of a workforce as much as based upon the quality of life that's in the place that we go.
Right. So I think there's tremendous opportunity, and as I say, I'm on day 9 now, so I'm really excited.
Well, you've done really well for 9
Yeah,
years.
I'm excited about where I'll be when I come back a year from now, or whenever next I get to present in front of you.
Yeah, there's a lot of venues that you do during the summertime for the performing arts, you know, around, and I think that, you know, based upon your former organization expansion, that there might be you might think about how do you tie in more venues that provide performing artists an opportunity to, you know, to sort of a Cape Cod American Idol kind of a thing.
Right. Well, a lot of that has to do with, I think, getting people to work in a more collaborative way. I think if we can get, you know, people to work together that have similar missions and similar interests, and really pool all the resources, because you know, one of the challenges down here, as everybody knows, is that there are so many organizations and so many niches, and they don't have the organizational depth and breadth to be able to really go at it. So the key, where the leadership needs to come from this organization, is to say, this is how we can maximize our resources.
Right.
Well, don't forget, you're part of an organization that believes in communication, collaboration, and coordination as being one of the important parts of our mission to enhance the quality of life of all citizens of Barnstable County.
So I'm on that bandwagon.
Okay.
In a big way.
Well, we're happy to hear it.
Thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kevin.